When the economy goes down, that means the state has less money. But every time the economy goes down, community colleges have a huge increase in enrollment. So when the state is cutting budgets, we have more students. When the economy recovers and the state has more money, we have fewer students. And the state bases a lot of their funding on students. And so we're in this cycle that when we have the most students, the state has fewer money. And when we have fewer students, the state has more money. And we've got to figure out a way to get out of that cycle. And that's what we're trying to do with our legislative partners and trying to help push the idea that students can go year-round, because it will allow us to stabilize enrollment, and it will allow students to finish what they've started more quickly, and that allows us to be more predictive of what our budget is so that we can make better decisions. So we have three piles of money. We have tuition, we have taxes, and we have state funding that make up our budget. Those aren't divided up where state funding covers salaries and tuition covers instruction and taxes cover utilities. The budgets aren't divided up that way. So I think 72% of our budget is tied up in personnel. And then another 22% is tied up in benefits and operations, and then the remaining is tied up in buildings, maintenance, and things of that nature. But you look at our tuition right now, and it's $89 per credit hour with tuition and fees. That's a lot of money. Yet when you compare it to other community colleges near us that are all over $100 a credit hour, some $134 a credit hour, and the universities that are near us that have their tuition and fees are almost $350 a credit hour, we have worked really hard not to pass our budget burdens on to students. In this situation, I just wanted to make sure that the budget that we had over the next 5 years allowed us to be flexible in responding to any additional cuts that we got from the state or any legislation that came from the state that inhibited our ability to collect taxes the way that we have. And so this was a long-term philosophical decision so that we're prepared to offer you the programs and the technology and the people that you need to make sure you get the education you deserve. For me, right now, I understand the state has less money coming in taxes than they can distribute to the needs that we have. But we have a $10 billion rainy day fund for emergency situations. And I look at you, and I look at students like you, and I think you're worthy of that rainy day fund. Just a small portion of it, I think you're worthy of that rainy day fund, so that we don't have to do things like raise tuition when what we need to do is focus on raising your graduation rates.